It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
The 2015 Dream Season Decree is a deadly combination of speed and precision. It's built for the moments when time stands still. When the only thing that will break the silence is an arrow slicing a clean path to the kill zone. The bow of your dreams is a nightmare for big game. This is PSE's Decree. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Welcome back to another Up North Journal Minicast, everybody. Sitting here in the cabin tonight with Dan and Robin. Robin's online with us. What's going on?
Oh, just another minicast, something you're going to hear not on our main cast, but you're going to hear it in their minicast.
Not going to hear it on our minicast, but hear it on our minicast. You mean not on our podcast?
Yeah, that just totally came out wrong, didn't it?
Are you all right?
I'm all right. It's Sunday night, though. I've had a long week.
Need another shot of coffee?
Dude, I just finished mine off.
Okay, well, when we get done with this minicast, we'll go get you some coffee, make you feel better. Robin, you're going to have to come over here and kick him in the rear. He's dying on me. Well, Dan has a question that actually for you and something him and I were talking about before we got you online tonight. So, Dan, I'll let you go ahead and form it.
I'm gonna throw this question out to Robin first, and then to Mike, because this is the question. Here in Michigan, we have this past weekend, which when you hear this minicast, it'll be past weekend. We have had the youth hunt. We've also had a couple other hunts, an early doe season and the Liberty hunt.
And our physically challenged hunters out there that get an opportunity to get up before us.
Yeah. But this question has to do with, I'll formulate it like this. Other states like Kentucky and Wisconsin start their bow season. Kentucky goes off early. They're like 1st of September.
First or
it was Labor Day weekend.
Okay, they actually moved it back. I thought it was on the 15th.
Because they start theirs, and then Wisconsin started theirs this past weekend. So
Ohio starts next weekend.
Yes. So Robin, do you think it's fair that our youth hunters are able to hunt before the general public gets to hunt on October 1st?
Wow, that is a question. Well, I'm the mother of a 12-year-old, so if she can go out before me and get done and I don't have to listen to her complain if I get one and she doesn't, maybe that opportunity is a good thing.
Okay, interesting. Mike, the same question goes to you now.
How long do we have?
You're the boss, so you get as long as you want.
Oh, I have formed my opinion on this so many different times, and I've twisted back and forth. This is a hard question for me to answer. With that being said, since this came into play, how many years ago? 5, 10?
Well, it started off 5-10 years ago, but the ages now have changed. Right?
Yeah, now there's no hunting age requirement at all.
Right. So there was a requirement, and that's changed. They dropped it, so it's now even bigger.
And that was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. So it's evolved over a few year period.
I have never ever let my kids hunt the youth ever.
Now, is that because your camp doesn't have it, or is that a personal choice?
It's a personal choice.
Okay.
With that being said, our camp does not have it now. They did at one time, and they shut it down at our hunting grounds. but I've got ample opportunity to take them out here on public land.
Right.
My thought on that is, me personally, you guys can send your letters to
Send them to Mike Adams
at
at
upnorthjournal.com. I think it sets children up for unrealistic expectations later in life.
So
And hunting.
So with that being said, we have seen several youth hunters shoot, as us adults would call, bucks of a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So then they go ahead, early September, they shoot a monster buck at whatever age. Mm-hmm. Next year, they turn older than the age requirement, so now they have to go to October 1st.
And they have to use a bow.
Where they were sitting using a rifle previous to that.
Or shotgun.
Mm-hmm. But now the game has changed.
The game has totally changed. They have to they have to use archery equipment, or they have to wait until November 15th to use firearm. And once you get into that point, we all know that prior to the opening day of bow season, as the season progresses, deer get harder and harder and harder to kill for the simple fact of hunting pressure.
I will even take that one step further, because if a youth hunter hunts every year and they start getting one big buck, 2 big bucks, 3 big bucks.
Let's just say bucks in general. They
run.
Yeah.
They run 3 years straight. They all get a buck.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden now they're too old.
They're too old. Okay, why can't I go out now? Number one. Hopefully by the time that happens, they understand that they're of what's considered an adult age. Hopefully they understand that. But today's world, it's what I call microwave world, where 10 seconds, ding, instantaneous. We want instant gratification. I don't think kids are taught, for the most part, I won't say everybody, but for the most part, I don't think kids in general in society are taught. Slow down, take your time, enjoy life, learn to work for the things that are worth working for. Put the time in and the efforts in to hunt proper. I shouldn't say hunt properly. To hunt and earn that shot. Okay.
Yep.
That's my personal view of it. I'm not worried about them shooting the big bucks before season because I'm jealous. I think it's wrong to set out a segment of society and give them special privilege because of a certain class, and that being age.
Right.
I think we ought to treat all of our hunters the same. Gauge them with the same ruler. If they want to open that up and let them hunt with rifles in September, back our season up in archery to match. So that way everybody has that same opportunity to get out. Because what that's going to do then, that is going to change the game because of hunting pressure. Hunting pressure is going to be stepped up at that point, and it's going to be fair chase at the same level for everybody as the season progresses.
So if we were to kick off the Michigan archery season, September, we'll say 15th, like when small game starts.
Sure.
But on the first full weekend after the 15th, youth can hunt with a arm of their choice. Mm-hmm. But just keep the seasons going. You're okay with that?
Yes and no. My ultimate goal would be to kill a velveted buck. I think that would be something tremendous just because we don't have that opportunity in Michigan. If you back it up to September 15th, we're still not going to kill velveted bucks in Michigan.
You shouldn't, no.
So with that being said, I don't think we're going to really gain anything. To me, it's really warm that time of year. I won't enter the woods this year probably until the second or third week of October due to other obligations that I've got. But I chose them that way so I wouldn't be hunting that first opening weekend when it's usually warm.
So now, Robin, after Mike has gone on his little...
It's just my opinion.
Right.
No, I think he makes some very valid points. And I can see that because, like I said, I'm, the mother of a 12-year-old, and I deal with that instant gratification all the time. But I'm looking at it from the perspective of a first-time hunter. Mm-hmm. I'm not the one that's going to be taking her out as a first-time hunter myself for her first time. So I'm looking at it as, is it more cooperative for her to have that opportunity? And that's completely how I view it. Is just for me, from a first-time perspective, from you as an experienced hunter, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. This is a very hot topic in Michigan. You can go on the forums.
Oh, yeah.
Like MichiganSportsman.com, and they go in 180 degree different directions.
Well,
you know what I'm
like
saying?
it
incredible.
goes from that to all the little Johnny or Janie didn't actually pull the trigger.
Yeah, but that's a whole different story.
Well,
That's
and
breaking
that's
the law.
interesting that you say that, because we were talking about that in our hunter safety class that came up, where there was an individual who had taken their child out. They got one, or the child got one, and then another buck walked through before they could even get up to take care of it, and the dad took the firearm for the son and took the deer. But there were they were on public land, they were on state land, and there were plenty of other hunters that saw it and called it in.
Good. Well, and that's the other thing, too. Early season, your bucks are still in bachelor groups.
Yep.
It makes it a lot easier.
Right.
I think they're less wary. That to me, that's the biggest thing is eventually if we moved our hunting date up, let's say to September 15th, it would take a year or two, but deer would get wise to it, and all of a sudden they're going to say, oh, okay, it's that time of year now. We've started earlier. And truthfully, I think our deer get pushed pretty hard as it is. From the last weekend of September, or what is this weekend? Actually,
we got 2 more weekends.
2 more weekends now. So this is the 17th, middle of September, all the way to the 1st of January. We just seem to keep extending. I've heard people say, well, we need to have a dedicated traditional muzzleloader or traditional firearm, so we get rid of the inlines. Because people say that's not fair. Then we want people that want a traditional archery season. So they're not including compounds, crossbows.
Yep.
So there's all these dynamics, and it's just like, let's hunt deer, man. Let's hunt deer, and let's do it the way we
just open it up September 15th. Just set certain weekends that youth can do this, or disabled, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Pick a weekend. Mm-hmm. They can do that weekend. Go right ahead. Yep. It's good. Yep. And just roll it from the 15th. I kind of like moving it to September 1st now that you mention it, because I would like to get a shot at a buck in velvet.
I would, but man, I don't know. I mean, are we pressuring our deer too much? That's warm. My concern, Go ahead, Robin.
I said it was kind of warm then, too, though.
It is warm. It's really warm.
But you see them guys in Texas sitting in those blinds, sweating bullets.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying it can't be done.
Right.
It's just how much do we want to pressure our deer?
All right. I got another topic for another minicast about that.
All right. Well, we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, but no. Otherwise, it's one of those valid questions. Are we excluding for the wrong reasons?
Yeah. And like I said, it boils down to a personal choice, personal opinion, and that's what it is. It's a hot topic, and that's the way I've chose to handle it. The way I have with my kids, it's just, and my kids have never complained. They're not like, "Oh, it's youth weekend, and you're not letting me go out." They've never said that. They're like, They're like, deer season starts October 1st, and we either go out that weekend or we wait until it cools off, and that's just the way we roll.
There you go.
But all good, valid points. Everybody's got good, valid points on this, no matter which side of the fence you're on. And if you want, continue this discussion over on our Facebook page, put your opinion there. We'd be glad to banter back and forth with you. So
absolutely.
All right, that'll do it for this minicast. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe until next week on the Up North Journal.